Florida meets the Tigers in a huge game for the Gators. Win today, and the Gators will return to Atlanta as champions of the East. An LSU win opens the door for Tennessee. All the Volunteers have to do is win out against Missouri and Vanderbilt, and they will meet Alabama in the SEC championship game. Now, Leonard Fournette ready to play, but earlier today he appeared on the field in sweat clothes, and word spread throughout the press box that he was not playing. About 10 minutes later, the skirmish broke out. Now watch the spot shadow. We're going to hone in on Leonard Fournette. He's going to get into it with Torian Gray, the defensive back coach of the Florida Gators. Words are exchanged. Fournette and a Gator player then exchanged more words. And finally, the teammates lead Fournette away in the opposite direction, but the trash talking continues. Then Fournette left the field, went back inside the locker room, and a short time after that, here came number 7. Now, for more on what happened, let's go down below to Kaylee Hartung. Kaylee?
Well, Brent, when Leonard Fournette was out here during that first round of LSU warm-ups in his sweat clothes, the LSU staff would not confirm that he wouldn't play. They maintained the line that his availability would be a game-time decision. You saw the skirmish, the team go back into the locker room. Now, as the team came back in full uniform, I was told Leonard Fournette approached Coach Orgeron himself and said, I want to play. And he began getting dressed. As he joined his team out here on the field in full uniform for the second half of warm-ups, a member of the medical staff confirmed to me it was Leonard Fournette's decision to play. He wants to be a part of this team, and he wants to take part in what many believe will be his last game in Death Valley.
Thanks, Kaylee. Jesse, just another day in the SEC. Let's talk about Fournette's impact on this team.
Huge impact. Fournette's the best running back in all of college football. He's not 100%, still battling that ankle injury that's been bothering him all season long, but he is a rare combination of size, power, and the speed to hit the home run. That's bad news for a Florida Gator defense that's really banged up right now, playing today without their 3 top tacklers. You heard Kaylee just mention this too. You knew that this was going to be one he wanted to play in. Probably his last game here at Tiger Stadium. I think it's fair to question whether or not the skirmish helped him make his decision if he was going to play. But big game for LSU too, because they need to keep winning if they want to keep their Sugar Bowl hopes alive.
Yeah, indeed. But let's focus in on Florida. A win, and they capture the East back-to-back years. But how are they coming into this game?
I think with Tennessee having to play Missouri and Vanderbilt, I think this is a game Florida feels like they need to win if they're going to win the SEC East. And they're facing a ton of adversity. They are banged up without so many key players today on both sides of the ball. These are some of their best players on offense and defense that they're here in Death Valley without. This is one of the most hostile environments in all of college football, playing against an LSU team that they've lost 3 in a row to. Bit of good news, though, for the Gators. Quarterback Austin Appleby, I think he provides the opportunity for the big play. He's a very good deep ball thrower to take advantage of wide receiver Antonio Callaway down the field. And for a guy that's 6'4", 240 pounds, a very good runner, he's going to have to use those legs and play at an extremely high level. I think if the Gators have a chance to pull this one out.
Well, we saw Jim McElwain, the Florida coach. They have won the toss, and they have elected to receive. They want the ball right off the start of this game against a very, very talented LSU defense. Let's keep in mind that when Alabama came in here and won 10-0, that game was scoreless until the 4th quarter. We begin. Thompson will take a knee. It'll come out on the 25-yard line. And a penalty flag. A couple of them go flying. So did a helmet. Remember, this is Austin Appleby. Jess, let's cover him.
Yeah, he's a 5th-year senior, transfer from Purdue. Big guy, as I mentioned, 6'4", 240 pounds, with very good arm talent. But I think it's the running ability that helps add a different dimension to this offense, coming off a very efficient week last week at home against South Carolina. But he's a guy playing in the Big Ten that's been in big, loud stadiums with a lot of crowd noise. But They're going to need him to have tremendous composure and lead this offense today.
Matt Austin's our referee, and he's going to have his hands full here early. Passions are running very high.
And Brent, I think you have to remember, there has been so much trash talk on social media between these two teams ever since October 8th, when the original game was supposed to be played. Just watching this league pile right here.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, 24 of the kicking team, grabbing the face mask. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So they decide not to offset this, and that is very interesting. They drop the hammer on LSU to begin the game, and they'll march off the 15, and they'll bring that ball out to the 40-yard line. In a way, Jess, I think that's very good officiating. Don't offset everything like that. Let's blame somebody, assess the penalty, and maybe we can calm things down here. Scarlett is the running back. Flashes outside to Brandon Powell on the first play of the game, and Brandon's to the 45.
It's going to be very important that Florida wins on first down on offense and try and keep themselves in rhythm to make third downs manageable. Did a great job of that last week against South Carolina. They do not want to be living in third and long situations against this pass rush from LSU, and this Florida offensive line, they're a bit banged up and very inexperienced.
Here's Scarlett, and he is stuffed short of the first down. This is going to bring up a 3rd and short for this Gator offense, led by Austin Appleby. You can see that Scarlett, Antonio Callaway, a big play guy, but Deontay Lewis, mentioned by the coach in our meeting last night. Keep an eye on him. Coach McElwain loves to involve his tight ends. This, however, will appear to be a running play on 3rd and 1. The ball is just shy of midfield. Powell's the motion man. Here's Scarlett, right side, and he got the first down.
Jordan Scarlett, very physical runner that can find you the hidden yards for this offense. Finish runs, push the pile, fall forward. But again, a successful play on first down on that screen to Brandon Powell helped make that third down manageable, and that's key for the Gators offense all day.
Scarlett again. It'll be 2nd down against this LSU defense. Duke Riley, who is starting to emerge as an outstanding linebacker, made that stop. Jamal Adams, number 33, All-American. He'll play a lot of Sunday football. His daddy was a first-round draft choice once upon a time. 60 tackles this season so far. 2nd and long. Here is the toss play to Pirine, and this is going to make it 3rd and long. It is interesting when you try to stretch this LSU defense, you don't have as much luck as when you run right straight ahead. And you know who told Jim McElwain that this week? That's right, his friends over at Alabama. Coaches always talk to each other, and Alabama wishes they had run earlier right straight ahead at this defense. Scarlett back on the field. In trouble, sacked back at the 49-yard line. The middle opened up, and number 13, Dwayne Thomas, the defensive back, cruised in.
LSU did a great job of covering up all the offensive linemen for Florida, which opens the hole for Dwayne Thomas. And this is what Austin Appleby could not allow to happen, because they were in field goal range within the distance for their sophomore kicker, Eddie Pinero, who's already hit 3 field goals this year of 50 yards or more. But because you take the sack, now you take the opportunity for points on the board.
Johnny Townsend's an outstanding punter. Bluff the fair catch. Did they save it in time? You see where they mark it, or are they going to say it went into the end, touchback into the end zone, coming out on the 20? That was almost a brilliant save by the special team. Chris Thompson down on the 1-yard line. Watch the wide receiver. Just got his foot down, but it was close. I'm here to tell you that is really close. CC College football presented by Allstate. Florida visiting LSU. This game was originally scheduled back in October, but because of a hurricane, it was moved to Baton Rouge. Darius Geis will be the starting running back and not Leonard Fournette. Etling, with time off, hands it off, and nothing much doing because Joey Ivy, coach telling us that Joey Ivy playing very well, made the stop.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No surprise. LSU, they're going to test this injured Florida Gator defense without Jared Davis, Alex Anzalone, and Marcus May. They're 3 top tacklers. Test the physicality and make them prove to you that they can stop the run.
Etling's first throw is a screen pass dropped out to Geis, who's a good receiver. And a big first down out to the 45-yard line. Notice the patience of number 5. If there is a difference between number 5 and number 7, Leonard Fournette, is it Geis is more patient.
Screen passes, Brent, are a good idea against this Florida defense because the defensive linemen like to get up the field so fast. And offenses have had success throwing running back screens. You saw Arkansas have a lot of success with it 2 weeks ago, and obviously something early in LSU's offensive game plan here today.
A 29-yard screen pass, ball just short of the 50-yard line. Play action again. Etling's going to go for the home run. Good coverage, though, by the Gators. Outstanding coverage by Tabor, number 31, as we check our second Purdue quarterback.
Yeah, I've been impressed watching Danny Etling. Again, the transfer from Purdue, played in 13 games for the Boilermakers. I think he's done a really nice job with his decision-making, works through his progressions, is able to read through coverage, throws a very catchable ball, and he's got some escapability himself. He's not an easy guy to bring down either, but he's done a really nice job throughout the season, I think, keeping this offense on schedule and managing games.
Second down and 10 now for Etling and the Tigers. Geis swings left. Picks up about 9 yards as Johnson makes the stop. So Etling is leading this LSU offense, and Ethan Posick, a senior, one of 19 seniors, his last home game. His dad up in Lamont, Illinois, a retired firefighter, mother a nurse. Outstanding young man, going to get a long look by the National Football League. He's a center of the future. Inside of 7 minutes here now, and it's 3rd and 1. Here's the toss. Cut back. Geis comes out the other end of the 35. It'll be first down for the Tigers on their initial possession.
And Geis just has such tremendous feet, and he has the jump cut ability to be in one hole and then get out into another. Tremendous vision. To me, Leonard Fournette and Darius Geis formed the best running back duo in all of college football. And all season long, if Leonard Fournette hasn't been able to go or they've had to take him out of the game because of Darius Geis, there has been no drop-off for this offense.
Darrell Williams will replace Geis here on first down and 10. They'll give him the power eye look. Found the hole to the left, and he's to the 32-yard line. Nick Washington making this stop for the Gator defense. And of course, as Jesse told you, the big story is the fact that they're without their 3 leading tacklers. Caleb Brantley has been outstanding next to Ivy as a defensive lineman, and tremendous corners, Wilson and Tabor. So the Tigers, who are driving here on their initial series, face a 2nd down and 6. Etling, there's a penalty flag. It's a first down completion pending the flag. D. Anderson caught the pass. So it'll be a first down and 10 inside the 25-yard line for LSU. Terrell and Dupree are the receivers off to the left of this formation. Jeter is the tight end to the right. Williams on an ISO picks up a yard or so, and David Reese, the freshman linebacker, makes this line.
There's going to be a lot of pressure, I think, on the Florida Gator cornerbacks in this game, because without their top 3 tacklers, Florida's going to load the box and try and slow down LSU's running game. That's going to leave Quincy Wilson and Tease Tabor, Duke Dawson, some of these corners out on islands one-on-one. They're going to have to win those one-on-one matchups.
And look who's arrived. Clark Kent, better known as Leonard Fournette, wearing number 7. Play action to Fournette. Etling throws in underneath, complete to Jeter, and Jeter is pushed out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. It'll be first and goal, LSU.
And it's a good play call by offensive coordinator Steve Ensminger, because you're using Leonard Fournette as a decoy. He comes in the game, everyone's expecting him to get the carry, and then you go naked off of it, get outside and hit your tight end for an easy completion, now setting up first down at the 6-yard line.
Darius Geis back on the field.
See, Brent, how much better they've gotten here in the red zone these last 5 games versus the start of the season.
And Geis battles his way to the 7, and Zuniga. Senga makes a stop. Second down and goal. Dupree comes off into the huddle. Doral is there. J.D. Moore is the fullback. Etling going to throw for it underneath. Dive! Touchdown! LSU! And it was J.D. Moore from Ruston, Louisiana, the fullback, his first touchdown of the season.
I like the idea by LSU here. It's a quick huddle. They get set up at the line of scrimmage quickly. Snap it fast.
His knee is down. This may come back.
Yeah, it looks like the knee is down, but just trying to catch the Florida Gators, just sleeping at the wheel a little bit with a quick snap. And J.D. Moore, a guy that they like to throw the football into the flat.
After review, the runner's knee hit the ground before the runner crossed the goal line. Therefore, the ball will be placed inside the inside the 1 to be third down.
Let's see what Ensminger wants to do. Steve Ensminger calling the plays. He's up in the box. Let's see if they go behind Posick in the middle of that line. They've got Geis in there, and they've got J.D. Moore as the fullback to lead the way. And here they come with Geis. Touchdown LSU, just like that. And for Darius Geis, touchdown number 10.
Darius Geis showing off the power on that run. C.C. Jefferson for the Florida Gators was able to penetrate into the backfield, and Darius Geis, at 212 pounds, had to take on not only C.C. Jefferson here, number 96, but he's got to take on the safety, Nick Washington himself. Just keeps churning the legs, good power running. Like I said, without a healthy Leonard Fournette, there just is no drop-off. That's how good this running back core is for the Tigers.
Colby De La Houssaye, one of the 19 seniors, playing in his last home game, tacks on the extra point, and it's 7-0. As for Darius Geis, he's only a sophomore. From right here in Baton Rouge, out of Catholic High School, he'll be back with the Tigers next season. Jesse, you were down on the field. How did the breeze as a quarterback feel today?
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to bring the Canadian weather with me to the ballpark today. It's chilly and windy down there, no doubt.
It's returnable from the 10-yard line. bursts free out to the 35, and down at the 41 is Tabor. And I'll tell you, he was like he was intercepting that kickoff when he went back and grabbed it.
He's dangerous, taking 3 picks back to the house in his career, looking pretty good here on this kick return.
Beautiful November Saturday in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Ed Orgeron, interim head coach, 4-1 with these Tigers coming into this game. And it is a team that has played with great enthusiasm for Coach O. First down and 10 for the Gators. Appleby couldn't find an open receiver, and he's sacked. Now he comes free, fires to the 40-yard line, and Cleveland, how did he get out of that mess?
Well, this is the big play capabilities that I think that Austin Appleby possesses, and his ability to escape and use his legs. It looks like Lewis Neal's going to make the sack, keeps his balance somehow, and then has the composure to keep the focus downfield, finding a target to move the sticks.
Scarlett, I believe, or is that still Pirine?
It's Scarlett, number 25. Brent, you're right. Just so physical. Here you're seeing the example of that. And a guy that likes to run north-south, downhill, and runs right through people. He runs right through the middle linebacker, Kendall Beckwith, who's 250 pounds. And I think that's Beckwith down on the ground.
That's a huge loss. Leading tackler and maturing into one of the better linebackers in the SEC. Beckwith is up.
Going back and taking a look at that last play, Jordan Scarlett kind of running north-south, and he makes the initial contact with his helmet right on the right shoulder of Beckwith, and it's just hard to kind of tell if his feet got caught in the grass as he was going to the ground. But Beckwith has not been good against the run for the Tigers. He's been outstanding this year. Very, very athletic. 6'3", 250 pounds with phenomenal speed. He's second right now in the SEC with 90 tackles. So certainly a guy that LSU cannot afford to be without on the field.
Donnie Alexander replaces him. Second down and 1 for the Gators, trailing it by 7. Scarlett is Appleby's running back. Scarlett battles for the first down. So we come to the end of the first quarter. The Gators have driven inside the LSU 25-yard line. We start the second quarter. We'll see if they can tie it up. Here we start the second quarter now. Austin Appleby and the Florida Gators trail it by 7, but they've got the ball on the LSU 24-yard line. Appleby got no more than a yard when Riley threw him down. So for these Florida Gators, a win today, and they will have won back-to-back Eastern titles in the SEC. A loss today, and the door swings open for the Tennessee Volunteers, and I'm sure a lot of Volunteer fans are watching this one carefully. Second down and 8. A little bit of a draw play with Scarlett, broke a tackle, kept battling, but that LSU front bringing him down.
I think in a game of this magnitude, if you're the Florida Gators, you've got to find a way to get your most dynamic and explosive playmakers the football. You've got to get guys touches, and you've seen them try and get the ball to Antonio Callaway early on screens and down the field. Another guy they love is number 4, Brandon Powell, especially on third downs. They can line him up in the slot. They like to motion him. They'll get him into the backfield. He's very, very fast and explosive and a big weapon in this type of situation.
Third down. Appleby shakes it. Now backs up. And Powell, the target, incomplete against that very good secondary. And this would appear to be a field goal opportunity. And here comes the field goal team with Eddie Pinheiro.
It was a great job in coverage, but watch Arden Key. He was lined up that time at nose guard, right over top of the freshman center, TJ McCoy. That flushed Appleby out to the left. A dangerous throw back across his body, now setting up a field goal opportunity for the Florida sophomore kicker.
The Gators on the board. 36-yard field goal makes it 7-3 early in the second quarter. And so Coach O, 4-1 as an interim coach. That only loss to Alabama, 10-0. But LSU held their helmets high in that defeat, believe me. They gave Alabama all they wanted in that game. So Pinheiro kicks it away, and Jess, we've got a moment. Let's talk about Coach O and some of your thoughts.
Well, just a remarkable season so far. I mean, just think they were 2-2. They fire Les Miles. They made a change at quarterback, and Leonard Fournette was injured. This is a team that could have shut it down. Coach O takes over. I think a lot of people just kind of saw him as a placeholder for the next hotshot coach that was going to come in here. With their backs against the wall, he's done an unbelievable job motivating this team. They're playing with a sense of urgency. They're not just beating people, they're blowing them out. And here they are in a situation, if they win these next two games, they're in a good shot to play in the Sugar Bowl. It's been a remarkable season. Coach O has been unbelievable.
Leonard Fournette. Play action. Etling goes deep and dropped by Durrell.
They had Traven Durrell, one of the best deep threats in the SEC. He beat Quincy Wilson on a post route. We talked about the wind, and I think it affected this throw in the air, and it made it difficult for Traven Durrell to judge it. But that's a ball he should have caught. Nice job late by Tease Tabor to break it up. But I don't know if that was going to be a clean catch anyway.
Oh, what a great hand Tabor used to slap that ball away. So it is 2nd down and 10. Draw play, and here Leonard busting. Oh, he picks up about 9 yards on that. Johnson and Reese make the stop, and it'll be 3rd down and short.
And there's nobody in a hole. Look how big this crease is for Leonard Fournette to run into. Nice job by the LSU offensive line, but the Gators front seven's got to do a better job with lane integrity and staying in their gaps. They're going to slow down number 7 and number 5 for the Tigers.
Now Geis is in for this short yardage play. And they come to the fullback. Good pickup by J.D. Moore.
He's a good little weapon in this offense, isn't he?
Yeah.
Catching the ball in the flats.
Plays.
Yeah, out of play action, down in the red zone, out in the field. And here in a short yardage situation, you got Darius Geis in the backfield, so everybody on defense is going to key on him. Snap it, quickly turn around, quick handoff, and the old school fullback dive to generate that first.
This is Etling under center, and Fournette gets the handoff. Hole on the left side, and Fournette, 11 yards.
How many times have you seen this throughout Leonard Fournette's career, putting people on the hood? He's not 100%, has the ankle injury, but if he gets into the second level, if you're a DB or linebacker, you are making a business decision when you decide how you want to tackle Leonard Fournette. He can posterize you on any given play.
Play action. Etling pump fake, throws it away. 2nd down and 10 for Danny Etling, who is now 5 of 8. Appleby is 4 of 7.
Nice job in coverage by this Gators secondary. We talked about how talented they are. You've seen a big play already by Tabor. They've got cornerbacks across the board that can play man-to-man coverage, and they can run, and they've got good hips, but what scares you is their ball skills. Tease Tabor, Quincy Wilson, Duke Dawson, they've all taken a pick back to the house this season, and if you're Danny Etling in this game, you better be accurate. You cannot be late with the football.
Malachi Dupree's been very quiet in this game, and They come back with the running game here on 2nd down and 10, and crowd thought that there was too much of an extra effort there.
There was a Gator that jumped on the pile really late. I think it was number 23, Chauncey Gardner. Much as this pile's kind of go, look at 23 come from way on the outside, and Jimmy Superfly Snuka off the top rope onto the pile. Very lucky that wasn't called.
Crowd still upset about that. 3rd down and 8. Swing pass to Fournette. Read well, and it will bring up a 4th down for LSU. David Reese, talented-looking freshman linebacker.
And there you see some of those instincts that I'm talking about, why I think he's going to be a special player. This is only his 2nd start, but he looks like he's been out there for a long time now for the Gators. Not very often you could lose a player the caliber of Jared Davis, but have a young replacement like this that gets the game plan of his D coordinator, Jeff Collins. He's made a lot of big plays here early in this half.
Josh Groden punting for LSU, and Callaway back deep for the Gators, standing inside the Florida 15. Going to signal for a fair catch, and makes that catch at the 17-yard line. 3 minutes remain here in the first half. Florida with the football, trailing it 7-3. Second down. You can watch the defensive line as they come with pressure around the edges, and Appleby just not have much time with which to operate.
No, he doesn't have a lot of time, and he doesn't have a lot of open windows into man-to-man coverage against this LSU secondary. So it's kind of a double whammy for Austin Appleby. Got to get the ball to the hands quickly, but you're not getting a lot of separation from your targets downfield. Good job by defense by the Tigers.
Florida only has 57 yards of offense here in the first half. Appleby. And the catch is made at the 41-yard line, and immediately Lewis goes down. Battle threw him down.
Dave Aranda's unit has only allowed 10 touchdowns all season. Think about that, folks. In their 3 losses, they only gave up 2 touchdowns. Defense has never been the problem this season at LSU, and right now the Gators obviously have got their hands full.
Here's 3rd and 7 for Appleby, and high and incomplete, and it is 4th down. That was intended for Swain, another freshman, but he hadn't separated either.
It's just so hard to have to throw the football into small windows, contested, when you're under duress as a quarterback. It's the most difficult challenge. I think a big key for the Gators moving forward in this game offensively, they're going to have to get back and trying to establish a running game to help keep these 3rd downs manageable so they can stay on the field.
Their best weapon's been this young man, number 19. He just has been able to flip field position here in the first half and keep the Gators right in it as he drives this one, and White's going to let it go into the end zone. So it'll come out on the 20-yard line. And after a gain of about a yard, pulled down by Sherritt.
Yeah, nice tackle by Sher. He missed 3 games with a knee injury, and he's probably still not back to 100%, but he's toughing it out, and he's kind of a long-arm defensive end that can be a problem for opposing tackles. Nice open field tackle there, and a difficult runner to bring down.
Letting the final seconds tick away here. The LSU still dreaming of making it to the Sugar Bowl. Meanwhile, the Florida Gators need a win to wrap up the SEC East. It's 7-3 at the half. LSU with the lead. They'll get the ball to start the second half. Now, let's go to the studio Here's Peter Burns and Tony Barnhart. Take it away, Peter.
Coach, you were able to score on that first possession, but otherwise Florida's kept you out of the end zone. What has their defense done to make it difficult?
They're tough defense. It's hard to run the ball against them. They're playing tough coverage on us. We have to protect the quarterback, take care of the football down here. It's going to be a tough game.
Leonard Fournette, 7 for 29. What has his mere presence on the field done to positively affect your offense?
I just love Leonard. He's been hurt all week. He wanted to play for his football team. We got to get something going on offense. Defense is playing fantastic.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
We welcome you back to SEC College Football, presented by Allstate. LSU 7, Florida 3. Main storyline, if the Gators rally and win this game, they capture the East. They go back and play Alabama for the SEC championship. Should LSU hold on and win this, well, who knows? Maybe the Sugar Bowl if they beat Texas
a lot
A&M.
to play for both of these teams, no doubt about it. We've got a defensive war going on right now in Baton Rouge here.
Now you can see the numbers, and Florida averaging only 2.1 yards in offensive play. Dante Jackson back in the end zone here for LSU as they will have the first possession of the second half. There is number 1, defensive back. And it'll come out on the 25-yard line. Passion running very high in this game. And just talk about these defensive backs here.
Yeah, so you're seeing a DB drill right here. I want you to watch inside. It's Florida DBs doing a backpedaling drill. There's an LSU player that just lines up right behind one of the DBs and runs into him, and that's how the entire altercation started before this game.
And then it was Leonard Fournette in the spot shadow, and he got in with the defensive back coach. Watch them exchange words right there. And then Fournette went back into the locker room and came out and is playing, and he is starting the second half. Here is Fournette, and he stopped for no gain. And Kaylee, Leonard Fournette right in the middle of things down there pregame.
Right in the middle, Brent. He got his way into there from across the field. He made his way to join his teammates and have their backs. But when I talked to coaches on both sides of the field after that skirmish, guys on both sides said it was just jawing, no harm done. I even had one assistant on Florida's staff say, hey, that might have been a good thing for our players. Get the energy up.
Second down and 10. Play action. Etling, receivers are covered, so he takes off. Throws late. Got his tight end Jeter with that ball very close to going over the line of scrimmage as he fires that ball, and it was complete.
Yeah, nice job by Etling there. We talked about his escapability. He's really good moving in the pocket. When he feels pressure, flushing a little bit, keeping his focus downfield. And right here, he kind of feels it from the right side. He's able to just slide, keep the eyes downfield, wide open, Colin Jeter over the middle of the field for an easy completion.
So the chains move to the 43-yard line, first down and 10. Another play action. Man is covered. Great grab. Dupree up in the air. Malachi Dupree's first reception.
I think this offense is at its best when they're throwing play action on first down. They show up in an I formation. The defense has loaded the box, and there's Dupree working against Tease Tabor, elevating at 6'4", high pointing the football for an explosive play.
33-yard gain, moves the ball inside the Gators' 25-yard line. Fournette, cutback, daylight to the 17. Reese stops him.
You know, that's good news for LSU in the run game because the Gators have 8 and 9 men in the box. They are loading the line of scrimmage. Look at all the orange jerseys, and still Fournette and Geis, they've been able to find some cutback lanes for some positive yards. Florida really has no choice with the injury situation but to continue stuffing the box and trusting their corners outside to win one-on-one. It's a lot of pressure on these cornerbacks.
Here's Fournette. Gonna get thrown for a loss. David Reese again in on that play, and he's been a very, very active linebacker here.
He's having a heck of a game, Brent. This is what I'm talking about. Look at all this is 9 dudes. There's nobody helping their cornerbacks outside. They are going to sell out to stop Leonard Fournette. And you're right. This true freshman, David Reese, he is having one heck of a ball game. You got to continue to have success against the run and trust that Tease Tabor and Quincy Wilson can win outside. I think if they're going to stake in this one.
Reese out of Farmington, Michigan. One who got away from Harbaugh, huh? 3rd down and 4. Geis checks in.
There's no safety deep. Everybody in the box for the Gators deep.
Play action. Etling rolling hard to the left. Going to throw back. Sliding reception at the 9-yard line by Foster Moreau.
So they're having success with the run, and then you throw the naked and get the quarterback outside the pocket. And you've seen a couple nice throws here by Etling working to his left on this drive, and a really good job by Moreau getting low to the ground to make a difficult catch.
Fournette returns. And they give him J.D. Moore as a lead blocker. Fournette. 2nd and goal from across the 5-yard line.
Still pretty good, even when he's not 100%, just running through tackles. That time, Daniel McMillan, the linebacker, had a chance to make a play in the backfield. Well, Fournette's power and strength just made that a no contest. And inside the 5-yard line, I think you're expecting another dose of number 7 right now.
Ensminger and Coach O want Leonard Fournette to get at least one more touchdown in Baton Rouge. 2nd down and goal. But they're going to go play action. Etling, Fournette slips. And Etling is smacked out of bounds by Joseph, a freshman from Miami, number 11, and I do mean smacked.
Well, Jordan Sherritt, the defensive end for Florida, he makes this play. Watch how he redirects Leonard Fournette. They're trying to get him the ball in the flat, and because he makes the contact, disrupts the timing, and what a hit. But Danny Etling takes right there. Levashon Joseph, true freshman backup linebacker. Whoa.
3rd down and goal. Short of the 1-yard line, so it's about a half yard. Here's Fournette, hit in the backfield for a loss by Brantley, who penetrated and made the stop.
Caleb Brantley is Florida's best defensive lineman because he's so sudden and quick right out of his stance, right down here, 57. He's just going to kind of penetrate through, explode out of the 3-point stance, makes the play. Remember, on a similar play, he's the guy that forced the fumble on Darius Geis in a similar part of the field. Gator defense, we talk about them needing to bend, don't break. That's good red zone defense there for the 2nd time tonight.
Delahousse.
I should say today. I'm so used to you and I calling night games.
Fumble by the holder. Just throws it into the end zone. Jump ball. Incomplete. A botched field goal. And again, the Gators survive an LSU threat.
Josh Groden, the holder, just could not field this. It was a good snap. He just couldn't get it down. It disrupted the timing. And the Gators dodge another ball. Watch, good snap, can't get it down. No points.
And Australia not used to throwing a forward pass. In that rugby game, they lateral. The Florida Gators will start inside their own 5-yard line after that botched field goal. 1st down and 10. Appleby's going to throw on 1st down. Got a man open, hangs it a little bit, but complete and free down the sideline. Cleveland, the freshman, headed for the end zone. That is 98 yards on a first down pass. A gutsy play call by the Gators, and they move ahead for the first time today.
One of the biggest advantages Austin Appleby, I think, gives the offense was the big play ability because of the deep throws. It's a great position of the field to take shots in inside your 5-yard line because you can almost guarantee one-on-one coverage outside. Check and make sure Cleveland stayed in bounds, trying to tightrope.
No doubt about it. He got rid of Jackson, the defensive back. He shed him with his strength, stayed in bounds, 98 yards. And I got to tell you, what surprised me more than anything was the play call. Panero, they worked it beautifully on the play action. What a gutsy call by McElwain and the Gators. Game on in Baton Rouge. Florida jumps ahead. And how about this freshman? Watch him shake the DB. Free on the sideline. And Appleby with a 98-yard pass and run.
New life on the Florida Gators sideline as they take a 10-7 lead over the LSU Tigers. After just 60 yards of offense in the first half, I asked Coach McElwain at the half where he was looking for offense. He said, "You got any ideas? I'm open to listening." He went on to say the goal to get the ball to his playmakers. Tyree Cleveland, count him as a playmaker, Brent.
Indeed. 98-yard scoring play. That's more on one play than they had the entire first half of this football game. And Jackson, the DB who was beaten on that play, stands in the LSU end zone. And Brosette says, don't even think about it. Now let's see how LSU responds. Here's Geis to about the 26-yard line on first down.
And Brent, the issue for LSU, it's not moving the ball. They've been able to do that fine in this game. It's finishing drives. When they've gotten down to the red zone, they scored a touchdown on the first drive, but then the fumble, and that last drive, the botch on the field goal snap. They got to be able to capitalize and make sure they're getting these points on the board once they make it down. They're doing a good job running and mixing in play action in between the 20s. Coach Orgeron need better red zone offense at the end of these drives.
That lane fires complete to the 42-yard line. Chark, DJ Chark, and that was a very well delivered ball by Etling.
Yeah, it's a good point, Brent, because he keeps it low and puts it where only his wide receiver can make the catch. It's tight man-to-man coverage with one of the best cornerbacks in the nation in Tease Tabor. And there's Chark. Had a big play earlier in the game on the reverse, doing a nice job there in the play action throw over the middle.
Ball at the LSU 43-yard line for a first down and 10. Play action to him. Etling rolling hard to the right. Going to keep it. Crosses midfield. And very, very close. Looks like they're going to give him the spot for a first down. Harris stopped the quarterback, but that was a powerful run by Danny Etling.
It was a good decision, too, because he didn't have anybody downfield open. So instead of just having to throw the football away, try and go get it with your feet. And the more success LSU's able to have here in the second half running the football, the more those opportunities are going to open up for the nakeds and the bootlegs.
So with the first down in Florida territory. Play action again. Etling incomplete, and he was under pressure that time, and that was Johnson on the LSU quarterback.
Yeah, well, we talked about Jeff Collins. He's not dialing up a lot of pressure these days because of the inexperience on the field. That time, they brought short field pressure from a freshman linebacker in Kylan Johnson. A little bit of a wrinkle on defense. That surprised Etling and LSU offensively.
Second down and 10 for Etling and the Tigers. And here's Williams. bruises his way to the 36-yard line.
It's also very seldom to see a running back group as big as LSU's. You know, you got Fournette at 235, Geis at 212, then comes Darrell Williams, your third string at 233. Their fourth string running back, Nick Brosette's a big guy too.
So you can see Williams stays on the field, and they've got J.D. Moore, the fullback. And it's the fullback again. They have used that play 2 or 3 times here today, and it's been successful each time. LSU picks up the first down.
Good time to use it too, because Florida didn't have Caleb Brantley, their best defensive lineman, in the game. He's the guy that's made all the plays for them defensively down inside their own red zone. Been really good in those short yardage situations, so a good play call there by offensive coordinator Steve Ensminger.
So McMillan out of play, now returns. Geis back as the running back. First down and 10, just short of the 30-yard line of the Gators. Play action. Etling has time, throws back wide open at the 14-yard line. Deshaun Smith. So again, LSU threatening. But the question before the house, can they finish? They've stumbled a couple of huge times today.
The humidity here is enough to suffocate you. Death Valley, just the name tells you that hostile doesn't quite sum it up. Playing at Tiger Stadium is like playing in the middle of an outdoor insane asylum that has over 100,000 residents. If you're not a Tiger, they feel you're here to be eaten.
Well said, Jesse. I know you come into Death Valley as a Gator in the past, lad.
Oh my God, I'll tell you, I was lucky to play on a lot of good teams at Florida. One of my most vivid memories, though, was in 1997. We came in here, the #1 team in the nation, and lost. This is a special place.
From the 14-yard line now, first down and 10 for LSU as we start the money quarter with the Tigers trailing, and a trick play to Chark with that speed, and he goes for it's very close to a first down where he went out of bounds over there.
Yeah, Steve Ensminger.
It's going to be, it looks like, a first and goal. Yes, it is. It'll be first down and goal, and Chark has run several times today.
He has, Brent. Steve Ensminger, the offensive coordinator, he's done a really good job not just getting Chark the ball in reverses, but changing up the way he's doing it, using different formations each time to keep the Gators defense off balance, and he hasn't been predictable because of it.
So now it's first down and goal. Geis is, you thought, hit for a loss, and then somehow he was able to turn that in to a short gain. I believe it was Jefferson who had penetrated.
And they're running away from Caleb Brantley, and that's a good idea if you're LSU. Up front, they've got to block number 57 of the Florida Gators. He has been wreaking havoc down here in goal line situations all game long. He's got a tremendous quickness and jump out of his stance, and he's kind of lined up to the left of the center.
Play action, and sacked back at the 14-yard line by C.C. Jefferson. I told you he was starting to show a little life down there, and that time he finished the quarterback off.
And the Gators weren't sure if C.C. Jefferson was going to play. He had a foot injury he suffered in their last game against South Carolina, and just nobody blocks him. How good has this Gator defense been down back in their own end with their backs against the wall today? Their red zone defense, aside from that first drive, fantastic.
Oh, Jeff Collins has done just a fabulous job as the defensive coordinator. He's now got him backed up for third and goal. Out to the 12-yard line. Etling fires short of that goal line. They're down at the 5. Now what is Coach O going to do?
No doubt, kick the field goal and tie the game.
Remember the last time they tried this, they couldn't handle the snap. Josh Groden for the tie, and it's good. Delahousse, a 22-yarder. Deadlocked at 10. The stakes for Florida and LSU could not be bigger here today. Remaining here in Death Valley, the Tigers and the Gators deadlocked at 10. Gamble will kick it off for LSU. Chris Thompson standing back at the Gators' 1-yard line. High returnable kick from the 5. Down at the 22. What a crowd. Appleby complete for the first down to the 37-yard line. Cleveland, who caught that 98-yard touchdown catch and run.
Well, David Sharp does a good job here by himself this time on Art. You see they also got the tight end Goolsby lined up to that side as well. So an opportunity for a chip block. David Sharp able to do the work by himself, giving Appleby a clean pocket to deliver the football from behind.
And we get word from Kaylee down below that Beckwith will not return. So it is first down and 10. Scarlett breaks free. Somehow came out of the arms of about 3 LSU defenders and sprinted for the first down.
He just has that innate ability to run through contact. Jamal Adams, first off, had a chance to make a tackle here, and then he runs into 3 defenders. It bounces off of that. You have to gang tackle number 25. It's difficult for one person to bring him down. You need more hats to the football. Jamal Adams, a guy that doesn't miss a lot of tackles.
The ball near midfield. Coming right back with the running back, and this time he is down to the LSU 45-yard line, and Kaylee Scarlett is running very well here in the second half.
Well, Brent, you guys remember what LSU's defensive coordinator Dave Aranda told us about Scarlett? He said that he reminds him of Darius Geis. He says the way that he runs, angry and violent, 2 adjectives we've heard people use to describe what Darius Geis does. Do you guys see it?
Indeed. Second down now and 5. Scarlett breaks free again. There he is, angry and violent for a first down.
Yeah, and Florida's running these zone schemes up front with their offensive line, and they're getting so much push, and they're pushing their way into the second level, into the laps of these linebackers. And right now, LSU in their front 7, they're catching blocks. LSU has to be way more physical at the point of attack. These D linemen have to be able to eat the double teams and allow linebackers to run free and clean up.
Ball at the LSU 39-yard line. Basically saying to the middle of that defense, we're going to keep coming until you stop us.
And it's impressive from this inexperienced Florida O-line. They've got 2 freshmen and 2 sophomores out there, and a left tackle in David Sharp. That's not 100% because of a lower leg injury he suffered against South Carolina. Playing on the road in a hostile environment, they knew they would have to have success running it to have a shot in this one, and they're giving themselves a chance.
Second down and 4 for the Gators. This is Pirine, and he's just a little shy, so this will be about a 3rd down and 1 coming up. Gators have driven this ball inside the LSU 30. They're keeping the seconds on this clock ticking away down to 8:30. Now it's Scarlett coming back.
They've had a lot of their success in these short yardage situations, running behind their center, TJ McCoy, and right guard, Fred Johnson.
Callaway motions through. Scarlett for the first down, just shy of the LSU 25.
This is demoralizing, I think, for LSU defensively, because I can't remember another team this year that has gotten as much push. LSU doesn't let anybody push them around up front, and that includes Alabama.
They are really missing number 52, who's not going to be returning. Their leading tackler injured in the first half. Scarlett has hit him for 100 yards rushing. First down and 10. Pirine hit for a loss that time. Dwayne Thomas.
Love the idea by defensive coordinator Dave Aranda. If you're getting pushed around up front, then we're going to add another body to the count then. I'm going to bring a guy off the edge this way with speed. You want to run these slow developing runs where you're pulling guards and it takes the running back a second to really get a full head of steam, then I'll add a body into your backfield and make a play.
So now it becomes a chess match. Second down and 11. Pirine for McElwain checks in. And he breaks a tackle. Third and fourth effort, drives inside the 5-yard line. What a run for the freshman from Theodore, Alabama.
There's some serious hitting going on right now, and Pirine runs right through Donnie Alexander at linebacker and just drags and carries tackles.
That was
into the
Jamal
second
Adams,
row.
a tremendous safety, one of the best in the country, and Pirine would not go down to the ground. Here is your first and goal in a tie game in the fourth quarter. Pirine, this time, no gain. It'll be second down and goal. John Battle, the other safety, moved up and made sure this time.
You know, one thing we haven't seen a lot of in this game is the zone read run from Austin Appleby, and that's kind of a new wrinkle this offense has used with him when he's played. Didn't do it as much as with Luke Del Rio because he wasn't as mobile, but at 240 pounds, Appleby can use his legs and be a weapon down in this area of the field.
Scarlett, the running back. Scarlett straight ahead, keeps going, keeps driving, keeps battling toward the end zone, and he's just short. From the beginning of this drive until the end, the effort by these Gator running backs has been awesome to watch.
Just pushing piles, and then linemen getting in behind him and getting some push there as well. What a drive this would be, what a statement this would be if the Gator offense could put an exclamation point on this drive with a touchdown here.
Third down and goal, Pirine back in. Toss, fumble on the ground. He has to recover back at the 9. So they botch the pitch, but they don't turn it over. There's an injured LSU player. His key is down on the ground.
The pitch. Little fake fullback dive. The pitch is a little bit behind Pirine. He had to slow down for it. Arden Key was the one who made the tackle, but just landed awkwardly on top of Pirine. And you're talking about probably the most explosive playmaker on this LSU defense. Well, that's number 49. He's got 10 sacks on the season. A tremendous year as a true sophomore. Obviously in a lot of pain, and a guy that they cannot afford to lose here.
4:46 remaining, however, as that drive consumed an enormous amount of time. 7.5 minutes they took off the clock with that drive. 69 yards, and now Eddie Pinheiro is on the field in an attempt to put the Gators in the lead. Back in the lead, I should say. 26-yarder. So Florida leads it with 4.5 minutes to go. The Gators 4.5 minutes away from returning to Atlanta and the SEC championship.
The Gators with the lead, 12 carries, 57 yards.
Remember now, LSU scored its touchdown on their first drive of this football game as Jackson fumble, ball on the ground. Florida football. The line judge ruled Florida. There's the referee.
Special teams has played such a big part of this game. You think about how well the Gators have punted. The botched snap on the field goal attempt by LSU.
There's the swamp and that live crowd, and they're jumping for joy right now. What a second half.
Dante Jackson brings it out. He runs into the back of his own player. That was J.D. Moore, number 44, slowed down his momentum.
Joseph appeared to jump on it.
Yeah, Boshawn Joseph, the freshman linebacker. Kind of Johnny on the spot. You know, it's amazing in a game where the Gators really have one explosive play of 98 yards and a pass play, touchdown to Cleveland. And a good-looking drive, that last drive, rushing the football. It's been the turnovers and special teams really has made the difference for the Gators here on the road.
Key returns for the LSU defense. Jimmy McElwain and the Gators up a field goal. 4.5 minutes. Scarlett's the running back. Not much of a gain there, and Scarlett's still on his feet.
And I wonder if there's an opportunity here at some point for a play-action opportunity. Now LSU has the box loaded. Maybe a bootleg chance for Austin Appleby to find a tight end in the flat, wide open. LSU right now is loading the box, anticipating the Gators running right at him because of the success they had on the last drive.
Scarlett, and he will go down at about the 18-yard line. Duke Riley hit him first.
I think here, if you're McElwain, I think you go for the first down. I don't think you necessarily play safe just for the field goal, because then LSU still has an opportunity to drive the field with a touchdown and win. So I think you call your best play. You trust Austin Appleby to take care of the football.
Pirine checks in, number 22. 3rd down and 6. Here's Pirine. Won't get it but 1. Now it is 4th down. And it's up to Jim. We'll take a break.
Thomas.
McElwain will get his field goal unit ready here. We'll take a break. So with 3:28 remaining, Eddie Pinheiro is on to attempt this 34-yarder. Already he has made one from 36 and another from 25. This would put the Gators up by 6, and it would force LSU to play for a touchdown down the stretch. This would be a big 3 for the Gators. Pulled it. Got it. So it's a 6-point Florida lead. 16-10. 3:24 remaining. And of course, if the Gators can hang on, they go to Atlanta to meet Alabama. If LSU rallies here and pulls it out, then Tennessee has a chance. Should they beat Missouri and Vandy, they would go. And you know, Jeff says there's something else at play here is very important, and that's that interim tag on Coach O.
No doubt about it. I think when he took over against Missouri earlier in the season, when they were 2-2, I think a lot of people looked at him like he was placeholding for the next head coach to take over here at LSU. they've looked so good and they've played so motivated, though, since his time as the head coach. But I really believe if they were to win out and reach the Sugar Bowl, he could be the permanent head coach here at LSU.
But first things first, he must come back and win this game. Let's tell it like it is. This would bring enormous pressure on this coaching staff and the future. They were a 2-touchdown favorite coming into this game, and they're down by 6 with only the 1 touchdown on their first drive of the game. And coming out is, now Geis will decide differently, so he'll come on the 25. And let's check in down below with Kaylee.
Well, guys, Leonard Fournette on the sideline. The last 2 offensive possessions for the Tigers, he's had his helmet off, a towel over his head. Just a moment ago, had that left ankle that's nagged him all season long, propped up on a chair. He's on his feet now to cheer on his team, but does not look like he's making any moves onto the field.
It's a big loss too, Kaylee, because they're in a situation now where they're probably going to have to start to throw the ball a little bit more. And Fournette, I think, has been really good this year out of the backfield catching passes. Ensminger, their offensive coordinator, has been very creative, using him at fullback in different spots to be a weapon in the passing game. And obviously, a drive of this magnitude in this game, not having number 7 on the field hurts.
Danny Etling with 4 wide, and Geis is his running back. Going to open it up on first down. And he flips it off to Geis. Whistle on the play. He was being held up in that scrum. And Brian, number 93, was the defensive player there for the Gators.
Yeah,
watch this pressure.
Brian just walks Will Clapp, the left guard, right back into Etling. And there's no such thing as horse collar tackling when the quarterback or ball carrier has the football inside the pocket. That's a clean play.
So second down and 10. Good play by the young man. Runs away from the pressure, going to keep it now. Can he get the, yes, he'll get the first down easily. And he is upended at about the 37 by Tabor. Tremendous defensive back. What a play he had the first half, if you weren't with us, knocking a ball free with his right hand.
So what a great matchup right now with the game on the line. You've got these LSU receivers that are so talented outside against one of the best secondaries in college football in the Florida Gators. A lot of one-on-one matchups outside. Probably goes a long way in determining who wins this game here on this last drive.
So Etling runs 13 for the first down. Now back with the running back. Geis breaks free, and he crosses midfield. Harris brought down number 5.
So the Florida Gators now in this scenario, that they're playing off a little bit more zone coverage, so they've got less defenders in the box, making it easier to run against. Nice play call there by Ensminger for LSU.
2.5 minutes ticking away. First down and 10. Half a field left for LSU's offense. Gators dig in. Etling in a foot race. Threw it away as he was going out of bounds, but did he step out of bounds? They're going to mark it back there, I believe, for a loss. I believe they're going to mark that ball at about the 48-yard line, saying that he stepped out of bounds before he threw it.
The quarterback stepped out of bounds before throwing the ball. Ball will be placed at the out-of-bounds spot, second down.
I thought he was still in bounds when I watched it. I'd love to go see this again.
It's close, Jesse.
Watch this.
Watch
his right foot, Brett. Inbounds, ball's out now. That's an
instant replay will turn this over. Instant replay will rule this an incomplete pass, and that saves them 4 yards.
The quarterback did throw the ball before stepping out of bounds. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. Ball will be moved back to the previous spot, where it'll be second and 10. Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes and 11 seconds.
We get a second down and 10, and here is one of the Purdue transfers. Etling did throw fast and is dropped at the 30-yard line. Russell Gage couldn't hang on.
And there was an example of that anticipation we said you wanted to see out of Etling. He throws this way before the receiver Gage has even turned around. It is a little bit behind him, But that's a play Gage, the junior, has to come up with in these sorts of scenarios. With the game on the line, it has been hard and tough sledding for these LSU receivers outside to make plays against the secondary. A lot of the LSU big pass plays have come to the tight ends over the middle of the field.
3rd down and 10 for Etling. The time says you've got 4 downs to get the first. And here is your 4th down.
That time there, they tried to go to Geis out of the backfield on a quick out route. And now setting up 4th down.
Must get to the 38-yard line for the 1st down.
I think the guy I'm trusting in if I'm Danny Etling is Malachi Dupree. A guy that can line up in the slot, you can line up outside, but with his frame at 6'4" and those long arms, if there's a contested throw, Brent, throw over the middle of the field or somewhere he has to go climb the ladder, that's the guy I want to give a shot to. And now they've got him down in the slot right here.
Etling, time, caught, chalk, across the 20-yard line on a 4th down and 10. 1:53 remaining.
Chark ran the in route, and Florida's cornerback fell down. I think it was Quincy Wilson, number 6. Not allowed Chark to go get extra yardage after the catch. What a play, clutch play by Danny Etling.
And that's Steve Ensminger upstairs. He'll call the plays down below. And away we go. Geis will be the running back. Fournette injured, coming into the game, tried, but he will not see any more action here today. Here's Geis, squirts to about the 13-yard line. Johnson brings him down. And LSU must not waste time in this situation. I know they think they've got a lot, but you still want to play with a little sense of urgency here.
Brent, this is where Florida's been so good. You see LSU's offense
they're
down in
taking
the
way
red
too
zone.
much time to get this play in.
Scored a touchdown their first drive. The last 3 since, though, they've been forced to field goal attempts.
That was just a waste of an enormous amount of time. So it is 2nd down and 5. Etling waits, fires, and it is a 1st and goal. That is Malachi Dupree, the receiver. Now it stops briefly. They've got 2 timeouts. You can also, obviously, this situation, you can stop it. Now it starts to go again. And again, LSU. Three wide to the right for Etling. Geis battles to about the 5-yard line, and now I believe McElwain wants a timeout. Am I right about that?
Yeah, he just went right down the sidelines trying to get the referee's attention to get that timeout called.
30 seconds remaining and a 2nd and goal. Geis to the 1, quick timeout.
So you got 1 timeout in your back pocket if you're LSU. You can run the football here. If you don't get it, use the timeout to set up your 4th down play.
The lead fullback is J.D. Moore. Remember, they've given the ball to Moore several times in this formation today. They do just that. Moore battles for the end zone, and he's short of it.
The defense, I think, was ready for it there.
They were.
Finally.
Now it's 4th down.
One time it doesn't work.
One play.
But see, Brent, again, they're running the left side of that line. Every time they've tried to go that way, that's where Florida has been the most stout. If you're going to run it again, if you're LSU here, stay to the right side.
Their 3rd and final timeout of the game.
And
30-second timeout.
And you've got to give Florida so much credit. When their backs have been against the wall, red zone defense, really goal line defense specifically. I mean, this has been like you put this on the reel. It's about as good as it gets.
Somebody in the Gator defense will attempt to get an LSU player to flinch. That'll be the first thing. They would love to turn this and make it back on the 6-yard line. This is a test of wills, folks. It comes down to one last play and 3 seconds. Geis over the top. No signal, no signal. Florida says they stopped him. They spot the ball short of the end zone. Florida hangs on. Florida goes back to Atlanta.
What a stop by the Gators defense. Jim McElwain is exuberant. What a job he's done. He becomes the first coach in SEC history to reach the SEC title game in his first 2 years. The LSU Tigers fake the dive to the left where they hadn't been having success, pitch it to the right. Just penetration by the Gators defense. What a display, goal line D all game long. I think that was a broken play. Looking back at that, I think the quarterback, Etling, turned around to pitch the football expecting Geis to be to his left. He was to the right. Watch, Geis goes to the right. And Etling didn't look like he was sure that was where he was going. Geis tried to make it right by running back to the left.
And let's go down to Kaylee with Coach McElwain.
Coach, how do you describe these emotions?
How about that? That was all right, wasn't it? Yeah, just these guys were beat to heck. Came on the road for a home game and won the SEC East. Didn't we?
You did.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
A test of wills there, right there at the 1-yard line. How does that sum up the will this team has?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they got some guts. I mean, they got some pride. They were called out. And you know what amazes me is people call people out when there's actually tragedy happening. It's unbelievable to me. And you know what? We came on the road and won a game. It's the way it should be.
There was that talk you spoke of as this game was postponed, jawing before the game among players. What emotion did you see your players express positively to channel that?
They just played hard. I mean, look, it's a ball game. The incident that happened back then, there were lives involved. This is a ball game. And you know what? Gators came out on top, and I think we're going to Atlanta, right? Are you going to be there?
Maybe if you ask my bosses right now, I can get a spot there.
Hey, go ahead and put her on the travel squad and let her go to Atlanta.
For Kaylee Hartung and Jesse Palmer, I'm Brent Musburger. We hope you enjoyed. We know they enjoyed it at the Swamp. The Gators are going back. And right now they're chanting, "Bring on Alabama." Some would whisper, "Be careful what you wish for." 16-10, Florida celebrates today. Let's go to Peter Burns.